Hi, Omer. This is Aria calling from Ron's Flooring and Remodeling. You just asked about luxury vinyl plank LVP on our site. Do you have 60 seconds?
Yes. Today I'm going to show you how to build a voice AI that calls your leads and qualifies them. You're going to learn the complete set of N8N workflows and the Go High Level setup that takes less than 30 minutes to set up and allows you to scale without hiring any more full-time employees in your business. I'm Omer. I previously started a software company that helped marketing agencies automate their competitive intelligence reports. And most recently, I helped a moving business automate their workflows and save over 25 hours per month. If you've never coded before, that's okay, as we're going to cover everything you need in this video. According to Harvard Business Review, contacting your leads within 5 minutes makes them 8 times more likely to buy. I personally filled out the forms for 17 different local businesses in my area, and the average response time was 53 minutes. So most businesses have room to improve here. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do in Go High Level, Retell, which is the voice AI provider, and N8N. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you some tips so that the voice agent doesn't break when talking to real customers. So stick around, you don't want to miss that stuff. Now let me walk you through a real build of a flooring and remodeling business that wanted to automate setting up meetings. Step one is setting up Go High Level. We're going to want to do two things in this platform, which is number one, set up the form that we're going to use to get leads. And number two, set up the automation that populates the data into Go High Level and connects to our voice AI and our N8N. We want all the data, all the meetings, and all the leads to populate into Go High Level. In order to do that, we'll start with going to the form builder to create the form. We go to sites and we go to forms. You can make a form choosing from a template or from scratch. We'll start it from a template. And for this scenario, let's do the free flooring quote template. So in the form, you can customize the fields that you take in, and that just depends on your business. Here we have the name, email, phone, address, something specific to the service. In this case, it's the type of flooring. Here you really just want to filter for the highest value jobs. So this looks good to me. Now we can save. Now that we've saved the form, we have to make it useful. And in order to do that, right now we just have an empty form. We need to hook it up to an automation that is actually going to reach out when someone fills out the form. So for that, we're going to go to the automation tab. We have a workflow. You can open up this workflow, which I've already created. The first thing you want to do is create the trigger. If I click into here, you want to choose the form submitted option and make sure you specify the form we just created. So that means anytime that specific form is called, then it's going to call the webhook we set up. The webhook is just going to be a way for Go High Level to connect to the voice AI. So once we have this trigger configured, then we go to the webhook, which is the action. So you're just going to add a basic webhook action with the post method. And this URL is going to be whatever URL is of your website so that it can actually call the voice AI agent. And click action, save, make sure to click publish as well. That's super important. And that's it for the Go High Level setup. Super simple. Step two, the N8N workflow that actually triggers the voice agent calling the lead. So this is our first N8N workflow. There's going to be four. The first part of this N8N workflow is to set up the trigger. That is going to be the webhook that is called after the form is submitted. We just set this up in Go High Level. So that's this webhook. After the webhook is called, then we create a new opportunity in Go High Level. So this is just calling the Go High Level API and creating a new opportunity. In order to set up and integrate the Go High Level API, we're just going to add the API key as a credential. In order to get that API key, you're going to want to go to your Go High Level, click Settings, click Private Integrations, and get yourself an API key here. Back to the N8N workflow. We've now connected to Go High Level, created an opportunity. Once we create that opportunity with Go High Level, it's going to return a response, whether that succeeded or failed. One thing is that Go High Level does not allow you to create two opportunities with the same lead. And so that makes it difficult to test. So you're going to want to add this step that resolves the opportunity ID. So if Go High Level fails, it responds with an existing ID in the error message. So you're just going to want to pull that and use that existing ID if it fails. That's all this step is doing. And finally, once we've gotten the correct opportunity ID, we confirmed that GoHighLevel has created the opportunity, then we'll want to place the call with Retell. And for that, you're going to want to go to retellai.com and set up this credential, the API key. If you go to Retell AI and you scroll down to settings, then and go to API keys, you're just going to want to add a new key. Step 3 is the calendar availability workflow. This is an N8N workflow that is triggered during the phone call with the lead that returns the free slots on the schedule. So we start off with a webhook that is triggered by the voice agent. Then we're going to build out a date range. These is just a set of days we want to check for availability. In this case, I just set it to be 1 week out. We don't want to offer a slot in the past or in the next hour, and we end it plus 7 days. Then we call GoHighLevel to check the available slots. Again, GoHighLevel API, hit the calendars endpoint. Then we want to make the slots into a data structure that the voice agent is able to communicate effectively to the lead. In this case, we don't want to just spam the customer with a bunch of open slots. We'll offer them one available time per day. That's all this code is doing. And finally, once we've picked out the slots, filtered it down to just one slot per day so that the voice agent doesn't overwhelm the customer, then we just respond with that one slot per day to the voice agent. Step 4 is the book meeting workflow. This is another workflow that's called by the voice agent during the call with the client. And that is just when they select a slot that the meeting is booked in GoHighLevel. So you start with that same webhook trigger. You make an API call to GoHighLevel. That's going to contain some data such as the calendar ID. This is just unique to your GoHighLevel setup. Same with location ID and contact ID, the time of the meeting, the title of the meeting. These are all customizable. It's going to contain that first name that we populated in the GoHighLevel form and pass in that confirmed status. Then if there was an issue creating the appointment, we do not want the voice agent to just crash and not know what was wrong. Instead, it's going to surface that error to the person it's on the phone with and just ask for a different slot. And of course, if it went through successfully, confirm with the user their exact appointment date. And then once the response has been chosen based on whether it was successful or errored out, then just respond, pass that to the voice agent for it to respond to the user. Step 5 is the post-call workflow. This is just the N8N workflow that's triggered at the end of the call with the customer. So Retell, the voice agent, calls this webhook at the end of the call and passes the transcript and call data to this N8N workflow. Then it analyzes the call and maps the outcome. There's 3 different options here. Number 1, was the call actually booked? Number 2, was the lead qualified? And based on those 2 outcomes, we take a few actions. Number 1, we update the contact fields here. This is in GoHighLevel. We would just update whether they're qualified or not qualified. Second, we would take a look at the call summary and transcript and record that as well. And that is recorded in GoHighLevel. And that is really good for debugging as well down the line and adjusting how we qualify clients using the voice agent. And finally, moving the opportunity if they were qualified and booked. And that's the end of the N8N workflows. Now we go on to actually setting up the voice agent in Retell. Setting up the voice agent in Retell. Retell is the voice agent platform that we're going to use today. It's very simple, actually. You're going to want to first set up a phone number that the voice agent is going to call from. So go to phone numbers and simply click the plus button. You're going to need to do an identity verification. And from there, it's super simple. And I think it costs me $2 a month. So very easy. Second, you're going to want to go ahead and create the actual agent. This is going to be the thing that has a personality. It's going to have some context about your business, and it's going to have some tools to perform actions in GoHighLevel for you. So I set up Aria. That's the GoHighLevel booking agent. This is the prompt that names it, gives you the exact business context to the agent, tells them how to qualify. In this case, it was budget, timeline, and if they're the sole decision maker, And that is essentially the base of conversation that the agent is going to use. You can also determine whether the AI speaks first and its custom first message, which was set up here, simply asking the user if they have 60 seconds to chat. The other important thing is setting up the connection from the voice agent to GoHighLevel. It's going to route through that webhook that we set up in N8N. So these are the three functions that connect to N8N by calling that webhook. You can see this is the website with that endpoint that calls the webhook, and it passes in the data collected from the call, like the preferred day, slot, etc. For book appointment, that is going to be the slot and their first name. And for ending the call, this is just actually a built-in function. It doesn't even need to connect to N8N. That ends the call when all the information is gathered. And the last thing is you're going to want to set up post-call data extraction. That is going to be what triggers at the end of the call summary and qualification metrics that we define in this prompt here. And that is going to be updated into GoHighLevel as well. Step 7, common gotchas. There are a couple of tricky bits that I encountered when building this and common mistakes that I've seen other people make when building voice agents. And that's two things, and both these things make a big difference in the reliability of the data and of the voice agent, which is number one, something with the GoHighLevel API, some confusing terminology, and number two, something to improve the reliability of the voice agent. Let's start with the GoHighLevel API. There's a difference between the opportunity stage and the opportunity status, and it's very important not to confuse these two endpoints. An opportunity stage is the opportunities/ID endpoint. That is just the stage of the pipeline that that lead is in, which would be new lead, whether they're being called or appointment booked. The up is the state of that opportunity, whether that's win or loss. So make sure you're calling the right endpoint when you're hooking up the N8N workflow. Second thing to watch out for to ensure the reliability of your voice agent is to test the voice agent against adversarial scenarios. That means not just answering the way you expect a customer to answer, but call that agent multiple times and answer in unexpected ways. Really try to break it and make sure that it's able to handle those responses resiliently and update your N8N workflows accordingly. That's pretty much it. You now know how to work your leads, filter out the time wasters, and close, all without hiring any more employees. If you want to see more, hit the like and subscribe button, comment below with what you want to see me build next, and I'll see you in the next one.